Homeostasis and the nervous system. Your body is not some chill, go-with-the-flow system. It is obsessively controlling everything every second just to keep you alive. Temperature, water, sugar levels, all tightly managed. If this control slips, cells get damaged, enzymes stop working properly, and things go downhill fast. What is homeostasis? Homeostasis is the process your body uses to keep its internal conditions stable, even when the outside world is chaotic. Your cells are picky. They only work properly under specific conditions. Enzymes, which control chemical reactions in your body, are especially sensitive. If temperature or pH shifts too much, they stop working efficiently or completely. So your body keeps conditions at an optimum level. That just means the level where everything works best. Key things your body constantly regulates. Body temperature around 37 degrees Celsius. Blood glucose levels. Water content. If any of these drift too far, your body steps in immediately. How control systems work. Every control system in your body follows the same basic structure. Think of it like a simple chain reaction. First, receptors detect a change. Then, a coordination center processes the information. Finally, effectors carry out a response. Let's break that down properly. Receptors are specialized cells that detect changes in the environment. These changes are called stimuli. A stimulus could be temperature, light, sound, pressure, or chemical changes. The coordination center is usually the brain, spinal cord, or pancreas. It receives information from receptors and decides what to do. Effectors are muscles or glands. They carry out the response. Muscles contract and glands release substances like hormones. Negative feedback. The core idea you cannot afford to mess up. This is the part students either understand or completely butcher in exams. Negative feedback is the mechanism that brings a condition back to its optimum level when it changes. Here is how it works in a continuous loop. A change happens. Receptors detect the change. Coordination center processes it. Effectors act to reverse the change. Condition returns to normal. If it overshoots, the system corrects again. This loop keeps running automatically without you thinking about it. Example with body temperature. If your temperature gets too high, receptors detect it. Your brain responds by activating sweat glands and increasing blood flow to the skin. This cools you down. If your temperature drops too low, your body makes you shiver and reduces heat loss to warm you up. Your body is basically constantly correcting itself like a control freak with anxiety. The nervous system, your fast response system. If homeostasis is the goal, the nervous system is one of the main tools to achieve it. The nervous system allows you to detect changes and respond quickly. It also coordinates your behavior. It works using electrical signals that travel through nerve cells called neurons. Structure of the nervous system. The nervous system has three main parts. Receptors, central nervous system, effectors. The central nervous system, also called CNS, includes the brain and spinal cord. This is where information is processed and decisions are made. Types of neurons. There are three types of neurons, and if you mix them up in the exam, that is just self-sabotage. Sensory neurons carry signals from receptors to the CNS. Relay neurons connect sensory neurons to motor neurons inside the CNS. Motor neurons carry signals from the CNS to effectors. The full pathway looks like this: stimulus receptor, sensory neuron, relay neuron, motor neuron, effector, response. This pathway is fundamental. Learn it until you can say it half asleep. What effectors actually do? Effectors respond in two main ways. Muscles contract. Glands release chemicals such as hormones. That is it. No need to overcomplicate it. How drugs affect the body. How insulin controls blood sugar. How dehydration affects cells. How the brain responds to chemicals. Practice questions with answers. Question. Define homeostasis. Homeostasis is the regulation of internal conditions in the body to maintain a stable and optimal environment for cells, despite changes inside or outside the body. Question. Give two examples of conditions that must be regulated in the body. Body temperature and blood glucose concentration. Question. What is a stimulus? A stimulus is a change in the internal or external environment that is detected by receptors and may require a response. Question. Which part of a control system processes information and organizes a response? The coordination center, such as the brain, spinal cord, or pancreas. Question. The water content of the body becomes too low. Describe how negative feedback restores it to normal. Receptors detect that water levels are too low. This information is sent to the coordination center, usually the brain. The brain responds by activating effectors such as the kidneys, which reduce water loss by producing more concentrated urine. This helps return water levels to normal. Question. Which type of effector secretes hormones? Glands. Question. Name two types of neurons other than sensory neurons. Relay neurons and motor neurons. Question. A dog hears a cat and runs toward it. What is the stimulus? The sound of the cat. Question. What detects the stimulus? Sound receptors in the ears. Question. Which neuron carries the signal to the central nervous system? Sensory neuron. Question. Which neuron carries the signal from the central nervous system to the muscles? Motor neuron. Question. How do the muscles respond? The muscles contract to produce movement.